Big news in the NFC North this week. Big news in the NFL, Dionne Miller. Aaron Rodgers, positive for COVID-19. Aaron Rodgers, unvaccinated. Aaron Rodgers out a minimum of 10 days, including Sunday's game at Kansas City against the Chiefs. I'm Dan Wiederer. That's Dionne Miller. Wow, huh? Wow.
Wow is right. And it's startling because of his manipulation of the language and that no one pressed him on it even more. I've been immunized. Okay, so that could mean 1,000 things, right? Especially in COVID times where some people think if you had the virus, that immunizes you. Or if you've tested positive, if he tested positive in the off season, we don't know those things, right? So, and he was trying to do some sort of side door into being vaccinated.
Play action.
It's disturbing. It's disturbing that he would be okay with lying essentially to everybody. It's disturbing that I think the people in the Packers organization knew
enabled.
And they also were comfortable with this lie and that he wasn't adhering to NFL protocol. And this after he spent the whole off season not even wanting to be there, like trying to challenge his place there. And now to have this news come out, it's frustrating and it's interesting and it's a head scratcher.
Yeah, Dionne, I've got so many thoughts on this, and I wrote a column for ChicagoTribune.com about sort of the ripple effect of all of this. And one of the things that sticks out to me first is just that lie that you referenced, that lie. August 26th, he's asked directly by reporters in Green Bay, have you been vaccinated? His answer was, yeah, I've been immunized. And then he kind of goes on a roundabout answer beyond that. But later in that very same press conference, Dionne, he was asked by another reporter, did you get vaccinated because you wanted to assure that you would be available to your team?
Wow.
And you wanted to set an example. And given that moment to say, well, just to be clear, I'm not vaccinated. I'm immunized with some of Shailene's homeopathic recommendations or whatever it may be. Sorry to go there.
You should have laughed.
But you know what I'm saying? There's an opportunity there to set the record straight.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. And so now you say, okay, hold on a second. We've got the reigning MVP of the league willing to lie for no good reason, really. I mean, right? If you've made this decision to be unvaccinated and you own it, just explain it. Nobody's asking for anything more.
There are so many people in the league who have made that decision and are just simply owning it. Like, I don't understand.
Other quarterbacks, Carson Wentz, Lamar Jackson, right?
Yes.
These are notable ones, right?
Yes.
Kirk Cousins, agree with them or disagree with them, but just own it and explain it. Beyond that, this concept, and I'd like to bounce this off you, is this idea that, it's a personal choice, so it's no one else's business. Well, no, wait a second. It's a personal choice for sure. No question with that. But it's not no one else's business because now a Green Bay Packers team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl is going into a key road game on Sunday in the middle of the season without the MVP of the league, with their offense in disarray. And let me tell you about the NFC standings, Dionne. You've got the Los Angeles Rams currently at 7-1, owning the number 5 seed in the NFC right now. And so this is how thin the line is between being the team that gets the first round bye and home field advantage through the NFC playoffs and falling to a spot on that seeding ranking where you're going on the road in the divisional round of the playoffs. You are the 4 seed potentially if you're the Packers and you drop a game or two because Aaron Rodgers is out. This has major ramifications for the Super Bowl hopes of a team that's been on the doorstep for several years in a row now and feels like it has a chance to do that. And now you go the next 10 days minimum without your quarterback, which means not only does he miss the Chiefs game, even if he returns for the home game against the Seahawks next week, he can't practice the whole week.
No,
and it's in sync with everything that's in the game plan.
Right. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, I'm trying to put my closet cheese head on, like, as a fan, what are you thinking when you hear this? And are you okay with it, especially after the offseason that he had and the demands that he's making, and he's not even willing to adhere to it? I get that it's a personal choice, but we all also have bosses and we all also have boundaries and in where we work and the things that are presented to us. And like at my workplace, it's mandated and people have lost their jobs because they've chosen not to do it. And so I get that it's a personal choice. Why not just own it? It's not, you're not an outlier. You're in a group of others. This is not like no one would have frowned upon it. We would have just accepted it and moved on, but expected him to then adhere to the protocols that they are called to by being unvaccinated.
Right, which means wearing masks indoors at your team facility. That means in team meetings. It means in press conferences with media, which he hasn't been doing. And it means that people have turned the other way. You can make every argument you want about how arbitrary the NFL's policies are for COVID-19 regulations in 2021. I have no problem with people say, man, it's pretty arbitrary. But they've been in place since the summer. And we've known since the end of the summer, in the middle of the summer, that there were going to be two different tracks, right? For players who were vaccinated and players who were unvaccinated. And Aaron Rodgers knew that, when he checked into training camp, when he began the regular season, that if he were to test positive for COVID-19, he would miss a minimum of 10 days. That's a big deal, as we just talked about, on so many levels, to have your MVP gone for 10 days while you're chasing the top seed in the NFC, a division championship, a potential conference championship, a Super Bowl. Big deal. There's no way around that. And you knew this going in, right? That there were going to be these separate paths for vaccinated and unvaccinated players. Dr. Alan Sills, the chief medical officer of the NFL, said last week 94.1% of players in the league are fully vaccinated. Wow. So Aaron Rodgers is in a vast minority here, right? Like 5.9% of guys in the league aren't fully vaccinated. He's in that minority, and he's paying for it dearly, and his team is paying for it dearly.
So how far is he staying from Jordan Love for that he is not considered a close contact in this moment and is going to be able to get out there on the field? So apparently they're not spending much time together. But now you wonder what transition this may spark in Green Bay. Like, what is this going to look like? Because he doesn't want Jordan Love to play. That was his whole thing. And now he's done this on his own. This is on Aaron Rodgers.
There's no question. And listen, like, Jordan Love still has to have some sleepless nights here going ahead, right? Because there's a chance that he could test positive Friday night, right? Yes. And then all of a sudden you go, oh God, I don't have time to produce 2 negative tests before kickoff against the Chiefs. And now, hey, guess what? Blake Bortles off the street is starting your game against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at Arrowhead, right? And this is the slippery slope you're on. And Matt LaFleur was asked on Wednesday afternoon whether Rodgers' answers to that question were misleading. And he said, that's a good question for Aaron. Okay, well, this is the opportunity for Aaron to step up and face the music. And I have a very big question about when the next time he is going to talk with reporters is. Certainly the folks in Green Bay who cover that beat on a daily basis have every right to want him in front of them as soon as possible to say, listen up, we've covered you for almost 2 decades here, and we have this back and forth, and you openly lied to our faces and put all of us in an awkward position to report something that was not factually accurate. On top of that, explain yourself. Explain the lie. Explain why you're not vaccinated. Just explain yourself. Aaron Rodgers also has a friendly relationship with the Pat McAfee show, where he goes on all the time and is able to work in a friendly environment and talk about his career and things that are going on in a way where he doesn't have to face, fire from every direction. He's got to talk. He's got to talk soon. And I'm stunned that we're almost 24 hours beyond this news breaking and we haven't heard from Aaron Rodgers in any capacity.
Agreed. He has so much explaining to do, especially for a team that does have Super Bowl aspirations, that it is in a position that they can continue to move forward if he is available to them, and he isn't in a key moment. Like, this is that midseason swing where if the Bears are any indication, things can go one way or another very, very quickly. And so he's put them now in this compromised position as NFC contenders, and that's on him. He needs to step up, own his decision, own the consequences of those decisions, and then move forward with that clarity to those around him that he is clouded for the last little while. And when Allen Robinson said, I'm sure the people in Green Bay knew, okay, well then that onus is on them now too, because they weren't holding him accountable. So how much power does Aaron Rodgers actually have in that organization? Like, if they knew that he wasn't totally vaccinated and they weren't making him wear his mask or keep his distance or any of those things, right? Then now that's on them. Now Matt LaFleur has to make it a statement. You have to ask Aaron. Well, no, we're asked, did you know? Like, did he tell you the truth that he was using some, some other sort of way to be immunized that he thought would work? Did he tell you that? Like, why did he say just ask Aaron? No, you're the head coach. You should know that about your MVP.
And the league has asked teams to sort of self-police themselves in a lot of ways this year. And when they find out that things have gone awry, they have dropped some pretty stiff fines the last 2 years on teams. The Titans and Saints are among them, I believe, that have gotten 6-figure fines from the league for violating some of these guidelines and restrictions. So the Packers are going to pay for this. They're going to pay for it financially. We'll see how they pay for it on the field. I'm telling you, we're going to revisit this discussion in January and say, how did those 10 days that Aaron Rodgers missed affect the playoff seeding in the NFC? It could be a huge deal in shaping the picture of what happens in January and February, and that is no small deal. You cannot convince me otherwise.
not just that, even I think it has impact on his future with the team in a different way too. I mean, this is a big moment, and minimum 10 days, Dan. Like, we could be talking about, he could miss 2 games, he could, who knows? And that is, I think, what has to be most frustrating for Green Bay fans. But 6-figure fines, Jalen Johnson needs to exhale. That wasn't very much at all.
I asked a long time, I will not name names here, but a loyal Packers fan who has been a Rodgers backer forever, defends him to the hilt, last night said, F him 8 ways till Sunday.
Wow.
A true turning point for someone that has backed this guy for 14, 15 years, saying this guy selfishly put his own interests in front of the group. And at that point, you've got people scratching their heads and going, bro, what the heck is this all about, right? And Rodgers has to answer for it. And he's going to have to do some damage control, and he's going to have to repair some relationships inside his building. Certainly, he's going to have to explain himself to the Packers media up there. It is going to be an interesting saga to follow because it's not going to die down very quickly.
This makes a 3-game Bears losing streak not that big of a deal, right?
I don't know about that. I'd still rather be the Packers, right? But
same.
But it does put it into perspective, and we'll see where it goes going forward. And so we'll see.
All right. He's Dan. I'm Dionne. See you next time.